Hello, my name is Bhanu Pratap. I am recording this video for task management assignment which is given by Magnet Brain. Here's my readings file where I am showing the folder structure. There is a two folders, client and server. In a server folder, there is a logic for the backend and client folder which is using the React or Vite React for the UI and Tailwind for the styling. Firstly, we will discuss about the backend part. Here is a folder project structure. And let me check my everything is working or not. Uh, wait, yes. So in a server folder, there is a normal server.js file where everything is written and imported. Then there is a model where we create the schema. For the schema, we create the routes, and for that route, we create the controller. And config folder, there is a database where we are using Mongoose. So we are connecting our database with that Mongoose, and that middleware is doing for the authentication middleware or the error middleware. That's it. That simple logger is a Winston logger, or we can use any console log simple thing. After that, I created the client folder where the main thing is app.jsx. Then we create the context. So we provide the global state if the user is login or not, login registration something. So we wrap up that main.jsx with that context and context provider. After that, uh, we have to fetch all the APIs which are creating Node and Express in a server folder. So here is the service folder, which where is the API.js, where all the APIs I'm using for HCOs for the fetching that API we are creating using Node and Express, and that are the components which is our usual UI, a small part of a code, and there is a pages which is the actual screen, login, registration, dashboard, profile, and yeah, that's the simple use of which is using that context and these utils just using simple thing like we don't have to put the manual thing like task priority, task status, or the base URL. So firstly, we will I'll start with that server folder here. So I'm importing everything here. After that, creating the express and running my port on the 7000, and uh, we can give the port name in an environment variable and import it from that also. I'm using the express.json because we are getting data from the body request.body or the in a JSON format. Sorry, my health is not good, and uh, in my leg there is a minor injury because I had an accident. So sorry for that. So I'm using express.json for the JSON data which is comes from US body, and URL encoded like in a URL there is a query and holding some data, so we use URL encoded. Helmet for security. Course for the cross origin resource located like our front end is running on the different port like Vite is 515173, and our backend is running on the 7000. So there is a conflict between connecting with these. Sorry. So for that, for solution of that problem is course which handle the origin, and there is a method we give mention and the credential true to handle things correctly. I'm using rate limiter so no one can perform more than 100 times or the fetch the API more than 100 times in 15 minutes. So that will handle the rate limiting. And that's the logger middleware simple. I'm using Winstall logger for the better logger. We can do console log as well. There is a routes. The error handler is a global error handler. So if there is any problem, so that will handle that error. We create these routes for the auth for like login, register, that ta task created, deleted, updated, and the user's route. User's route like we are getting any task, sorry, we are getting any user and updated that user. It is inactive or active. What is the role of that? We can admin can change user to the admin, like a user to the convert to the admin anyone. Or the second thing, user admin can change the status of the user like active, inactive, like that. For that, we have a controllers. So in our routes, there is a firstly we will create the models like schema. For user, we want to some data for the username, email, password. What is the role of that person? Like a user, it is a user or the admin, and is active, like it is active or not. I'm just using a simply free method for the JWT verification, like encrypting the password and matching that password after the login. And there is a task schema also. So we want to use title description, what is the due date or the priority, like low, medium, or high, whatever the task we user created. And the status is like it is pending, like admin assign a task to the user, so user can select that status, it is a pending or the I'm rejected that or in a project or the completed, like that. There is a assign to, so we can populate that data, which one, which user or which admin is assigned or created by, like that. So for that, we created that routes doing the same thing, registering user, login user, or if it is registered, then we can use this get user profile. This is a valid is a middleware. Middleware is like uh, it is working before the reaching the routes, before the endpoint. That's it. So we are sending a token in a JWT, so which is inside a bearer here, and bearer after the space and then token. So we split it into by the space and getting the token, and verify that token using the JWT secret, and finding that user if it is registered or not. If registered, then we remove that password, like we don't want to show in our log in a normal console log. After that, we assign to the requested user. So every user with so send any URL request with that token. That will move to the next. Simple. If there is no admin, so no token, so they're not authorized. Or check admin, just check it is a user or it is a simple user or the admin. So I'm here. Sorry, here. For that, we created the controllers. So we will move to this generating token. I already told about it. It is a register user. We are using getting data from the body, which is a username, email, password, and role, or whatever the which is mentioned in here in a model. Username, email, password, and role. Yeah, that's it. We get from the body, or if there is not, so we will check just basic validation like and checking that user exists or not. If not exists, so we will return it. If exists, so we check the same email or same ID username is exist or not. If exists, so we showing some error. If not, then we create the new user. Same thing for the login. Their email and password we see receive from the body, and after that, if we check if there is password correct or the username is correct or not. If password is not correct, so we return that. If the password and username corrected, so we log in. And there is a sorry, yeah, that's it. We log in the user. After that, this is a git profile where anyone can get the user profile by using the user ID. The task schema we have, I already told you the title, description, due date, whatever the things we want to get from the user request or body. For that, there is a route for the creating task, getting all the tasks, whatever, how many tasks is created, like in a database, how much task is created, already created like that. Updating the task or the get task by ID, deleting task, and the status we mentioned earlier, like it is a pending or the completed or the working, like these are the status and the priority is like here is it here is the priority is like low, medium, and high. What is the priority of that task? So here's the route. So for that I also created the controllers. Let me check everything is working or not. Okay. So yes. So for that task control, I have created the task controller for the task routes. So create the task, we receive all the data from the request.body, and if there is no main thing like title description, so we give a error like please add the all the required field. And if we get that, or if no one is assigned that document to someone, so we assign ourselves. And if assigned, then we will assign to them. Then after that, we created the new task and populated that data like who is assigned and for whom the task is assigned. And yeah, that's why we send the data in a JSON. That's why we are using that express.json here because we are sending the data in a JSON. Sorry, I same thing for the get task. We are searching ta task using the ID. No, no, we are searching data all over the task. But the uh, main thing is that if uh, user is not admin or the he is not created that he is not created that task, he is not able to see that task. But only admin can see all the task whatever the created in the whole database. So populating again these things like who created that task and for the whom is assigned, and the again sending the task, getting task by ID, that's find by ID, which is a mongoose method for which from which we can get data from database. again populate it the same thing. If header sent is a, I'm getting error for the headers, so I'll use that if condition. If header is not sent, it can we give the error like task not found. And here is a check like I mentioned in a comment when if I forgot that, so I write the comment also. Like if the user is login or like user have the permission to view their task, so user can see it. But only admin can see all the tasks, and user can see the task is created by them, not anyone. So that's the simple thing. And if there is no one, so not authorized. If yes, then we send the data just in a JSON. Updating the task, whatever the things we want to update from request.body or from the user. So want to use to update titles,